Moving across now from the Premier League to the FA Cup, there's 2 matches in the semi-final, and I'm going to start off with Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Crystal Palace, they travelled across the capital to face Fulham in the quarter-finals. The Eagles jumped out to a quick 2-0 lead with Eze and Sarr scoring in the span of 2 minutes in the first period, before Nketiah killed off the game with goal number 3 in a resounding 3-0 win. In terms of form, that's 4 wins across all 4 rounds, all within the 90 minutes for the Eagles. They host an Aston Villa side who got the better of Preston last time out in what was, when we look at the stats, a very one-sided affair. Aston Villa generated 4 times the amount of shooting opportunities and a massive 8 times the amount of big chances created. Goals were scored by Jacob Ramsey and Marcus Rashford, bagged a brace himself for a 3-0 win in relative ease. As with Crystal Palace before them, Aston Villa have played 4 matches in the FA Cup and won all 4 rounds within normal time. When we take a look at the head-to-head record, the last match between these sides took place in late February, in a match which Crystal Palace won 4-1. When we take a look at the numbers, we can see that despite Aston Villa taking most of the ball, it was Palace who generated a massive 19 shots and 6 big chances created, and all of that came together for 4.31 XG. Longer term, this victory represents Crystal Palace's 4th game unbeaten against the Villains in a run stretching back to September of 2023. My prediction for today's game is that this year's semi-finals gives both Crystal Palace and Aston Villa a fantastic chance to pick up a piece of silverware this year. Both sides will be taking these matches incredibly seriously, which sometimes may lead to low-scoring affairs, but I don't think that's going to happen here today, and here's why. Crystal Palace have seen over 2.5 goals in both the last 2 rounds of the FA Cup for 2 of the 4 rounds in total, whereas Aston Villa, they've seen 3 of the last 4 FA Cup games see over 2.5 goals. Additionally, when we take a look at the head-to-head record, each of the last 5 competitive encounters between these sides have seen over 2.5 goals scored, so I'm going to be backing over 2.5 goals for a half stake here in bet number 1 of the FA Cup.